Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready? Shit's about to hit the fan. Welcome to Unsanctioned Thursdays on Wrestling with Freddie.
What's up, people? Welcome to Unsanctioned Thursdays, the high-energy show that gives you all the wrestling news that you need, which is why I'm speaking with such high energy.
I love it.
With
very strong start.
That's right. With me, as always, is Jeff Dye. That was our week's strong start, and it's Unsanctioned Thursday. I have some news on my promotion. It's been a while, y'all. I haven't given you guys any updates.
Long awaited.
I've been in, it wasn't even limbo. It was like the third ring of hell. I got some really bad news, and then that bad news was followed by some crazy great news, which I can't share yet. It's getting ready to go to lawyers. I can't even say what I need, but it's getting ready to go to lawyers, and then that takes its time. But once it's with lawyers, I can finally start talking about it and all that good stuff, and hopefully not taking all the energy away from it. But yeah, so bad news soon turned into good news. As one door closes, another opens, as they say. And don't quit on your dreams, people. Even if you fail, you learn a lot, and you can help somebody else accomplish their dreams. So just remember that shit. Anyway, Jeff, how are you?
I'm feeling good, man. I'm happy. Feeling at peace, feeling relaxed, happy to be here.
Back in Los Angeles, relaxing. Where are you going to be this weekend, dude? Are you performing anywhere?
I don't know where I am this weekend. Some sort of corporate thing. So I'm doing Utah, Detroit, and New York City this week.
Doing a corporate gig. Yeah, every comic's favorite gig. Oh, because that won't be. Yeah, that'll be better than a regular stuff. That'll be way better than a regular corporate gig.
But if you go to jeffdye.com, you can see when I'm coming to your town. I'm going to be in Irvine, which is Orange County, soon at the Improv. Going to be, got all sorts of places coming up. Omaha, I've got Chicago, San Diego, so all over the place. So check it out, jeffdye.com, and then you can figure it out. But
I've been to the Irvine one. That's a big room, man. I like that one.
Yeah, it's fun.
I had a girlfriend at the time. This was way before Sarah and I were married, and we went to a show at the Irvine Club. And this guy, Isaac, was the manager, and he gave us like a great little table. And he had like white blonde hair and was from Newport Beach. And he was super cool. And my girlfriend got super drunk, and they weren't charging us. So she just kept drinking, and she barfed in my car on the way home. And I was so freaking pissed that I almost broke up with her that night.
Yeah, I would have. She drank too much.
Bro, I waited till she cheated on me. Then I broke up with her.
Smart strategy for all the listeners.
Yeah. Usually that's the way things should
Put it on them, find a way to go. You did this.
No, she cheated on me. I didn't cheat on her.
That's my point. You waited for her to cheat to go, hey, you're puking in cars. You're cheating on me. You did this.
You're cheating. That was the final straw, the cheating. All right, you guys. After 12 long years, Monday Night Raw is a 2-hour show, which means way less time and way fewer opportunities for talent to get over. It also means a much tighter, cleaner show that flows with less dead time, with less people that maybe you don't want to see on TV. Maybe they were having to fill that time because of the third hour and the advertising dollars that were coming in. I don't know. But it's down to 2 hours. It felt so nice. And maybe that's because the show started with CM Punk and he cut a very different kind of promo, which was cool. He's been mixing his promos. Even I've said this before, his bad promos are 9s, like on a scale of 1 to 10. This was a 10, and he talked shit to people. He was like, if you hate me, thank you. Thanks for that money, baby. If you love me, thank you. I love you back, and thank you for your money too. If you have a dog, I love you. If you have a cat, F you. Like, he was a very different kind of promo, and that's word for word what he said, what I'm putting out there now. He finished his promo. He said, I don't know when I'm going to be back. And as he left, Seth Rollins walks in. And that's why I said the show flowed so well. Because as like, there was no introduction. Like Seth just kind of like interrupts his walkout and then just no looks him, just kind of side eyes him through the shades and just walks right by. And is just like, when basically saying like, when you're friggin' healthy, I'm going to beat your ass. And we're going to wrestle 3 times, and I'm going to be the one that wins 2 out of 3. I'm the only one that can win 2 out of 3 because I'm Seth freaking Rollins. And then he came out and he talked some shit on Bronson Reed and said, he's the man, these guys aren't the man, and everybody in the crowd agreed. And Jeff Dye agrees too, don't you, Jeff?
Facts. I don't ever disagree with you, unless I disagree. But this time I do not.
True. 90% of the time you disagree with me, 30% of the time
Exactly.
What'd you think of the promo that Punk threw out there?
I think that we're getting a lot of talk, but CM Punk proves to be the MJF, if I will, of WWE. Like, as far as like, you can always rely on it being good. I'm very impressed with him. I've came around these last few years on CM Punk, and he really is becoming the GOAT of mic work. So he's incredible. But I wish we would see a little more wrestling from these guys. Yeah. But it's a lot of talk, and a lot of, when that happens, there's a lot of like overlap or repeat a little bit. But I still loved it. I think he's great.
It's funny. I think if they let the best talkers have the talking time and they give the wrestlers that aren't so good the wrestling time, it gives both sides a chance to get over and stay over, right? Like, you don't want your veterans working too much because you don't want them getting hurt. You want to save them for the big matches and the pay-per-views or the premium live, whatever they call them. And it gives the younger, like the Carmelo Hayes and the Andrades, they don't need an in-ring promo as much as a quick backstage segment and then just put on another phenomenal friggin' match. And that's on SmackDown. It's not SmackDown. It's SmackDown. They're the ones that put the big S in there. Not me. But yeah, I think the 2-hour show overall, in a little bit of time, I think we'll see that it's a better flow. But they're definitely going to have to work out the amount of talking shows. They're not going to repeat that. There won't be as much talk this week as there was last week. This week, I bet you we get more wrestling. And then they're going to
especially if they're just going to make it 2 hours and all the way they're playing with these formats, they're just going to have to make it less.
Moving on to Gunther and Sami, they battled for the World Heavyweight Championship. It wasn't a pay-per-view, so usually that means the challenger has no chance. Usually, not always, as Jimmy Uso proved us wrong, or Jey Uso proved us wrong, I mean. But Sami seemed very sad after the match when he lost. They caught him backstage. He was pretty bummed out. That's not the story. The story is, on Friday Night SmackDown, Jimmy Uso said, we need more. Well, I guess before we get into that, the future of Sami, I see him reuniting with the Bloodline, and that being the only story out there for him right now, based on where he's at and the guy that he just lost to. Do you agree with that, or do you see something else, or do you fear they don't have a plan for Sami Zayn?
I've always been afraid they don't have a plan for Sami. Even when he was in the Bloodline, I was like, what are they doing? It ended up working out. It was a really good, like, chapter of the Bloodline story. I really liked the Sami chapter. But even then, I was like, I don't think they've ever known what to do with Sami in general, like his entire career, in my opinion.
He's like the Canadian John McClane. You know, like the Bruce Willis character from the Die Hard movies? Like, he's super blue collar, super relatable, not the best looking dude, not Clark Gable, you know what I mean? Like the classic dashing, leading man, but he's the everyman. And so you can get behind a guy like that because he represents like the average dude, man, who he's like, okay, I don't look like Brad Pitt, but shit, I work hard. And like, they need to reward that. Like, that's what Bryan Danielson represented to a lot of people. To the outcast, that's what Jeff Hardy represented to a lot of people when he became champion. Like, they just want someone that they can get behind where they go, that's our guy. And so I get where you're worried and concerned, although I think he's going back to the Bloodline with Roman and Jimmy, and eventually, and we'll get into it real quick here, with Jey as well. And hopefully Jey still is a champion. That'd be cool if they had a little gold. But anyway, let's get to SmackDown. Jimmy Uso made his return, and he cut a promo, which I thought he did such a great job. He's always going to be compared to his brother, and everybody loves his brother, and everybody loves his brother on the mic because his brother's got that great cadence where you can't even what him, you can only yeet him, which puts him over even more. It's like the ultimate reverse burn ever. He's like, oh, you want to what me? No, now I'm impossible to what? I'm Jey Uso. So Jimmy has to be compared with that, and to do the same thing would fail miserably. So he just came out in a much more like, this is who I am. This is what's going on with me. This is what happened. My brother did some spineless bullshit and put me out for 6 months. 6 months. He made that time away very, very important in the promo. So you could see that hurt him and bothered him. He did such a nice job. I'm not trying to tell you all he's Denzel Washington. I'm just telling you guys he did a great job with this promo. And I thought he was wonderful. And then Roman comes out. And Roman cuts a great promo. And Roman's respectful to Jimmy. He's like, yo, I'm not even trying to interrupt you, man. I'm just trying to let you know that you're the friggin' man too. And you need to be acknowledged. And the crowd acknowledges Jimmy. Yeah, Jimmy, we don't hate you anymore. You're not a son of a bitch. What they did, that's what they said.
I know. I just like the way you're summarizing it. It's great.
And then Jimmy's like, look, man, we got to deal with Solo, as Jeff Dye calls him, the Sequoia tree. And we got to deal with this new bloodline bullshit. And we need help. We need the yeet, Jeff. And what did Roman say when we needed the yeet, Jeff? He said, no yeet. No.
Which
yeet. Is a hard line to pull off, dude. Really hard line. If I'm reading that as an actor, I'm like, God damn it. Why did you write that? And I thought he pulled it off.
Great though? It's his way of saying, I'm not acknowledging you. Instead of acknowledge me, no yeet for you.
No yeet. No, I do not want, he does not want Jay in the bloodline, but they're going to need Jay. And Jimmy's like, yo, we need him. And then
that's ridiculous. No yeet.
No yeet. That's a tough line to sell, man. I would ask for a rewrite and they'd be like, no, man, we got to get it. I'm like, damn it. Okay, yeet. I'll do my best with this. I wouldn't know how to do it, but he did it well. Later that night, Solo Sikoa, and we get Jimmy, and he just, Solo's coming out with Jacob Fatu and Tamatanga and Tongaloa. No more eye patch, though. The eye got better, thank God. And of course, Jimmy has to lose the match. Otherwise, the story's over pretty quick. That could have been one you bet on pretty easily. But the after beatdown was no good. Roman Reigns came out there. But again, there's no story if Roman beats everybody's ass. So Roman got his ass beat. Everybody gets beat down. And as the new bloodline leaves, like, yeah, look at those punks we just left in the ring. That old ass bloodline, not the original, the old ass bloodline, because they're too old to run shit. And we're the new school bloodline. And Jimmy's looking at Roman like, we are kind of old, man. We need help. And you see Roman like, God damn it, but he's not having it yet. But eventually he will, and this is our word of the day, boys and girls. Eventually Roman will acquiesce and he will agree to bringing in Jey Uso. That's the easiest prediction your mama ever made. Jeff, did you like the end of this match? Are you ready for the old bloodline to go against new bloodline in a blood war?
Yeah, I am. I'm like very excited about it. I think it's been great. But like I've said many, many times, it's when will the bloodline be one bloodline who's
could be
gets
coming.
Along?
It could be coming. Hopefully. The Rock might unify the clans, like in Braveheart. Unite the clans. Unite us. Unite the clans. Who is he talking to?
That's where we find strength, when we unite.
The guy that played the guy that Braveheart was talking to unite the clans was in this like billiards movie with me. His name was Angus McFadden, and he had never shot pool before. And they were going to give him a lesson on how to play pool. But it's like, how are you going to learn how to play pool in 15 minutes before we have to do like all these trick shots, right? So they got a double in there for him. And on the master shot, Angus lines up this shot and he has to hit it, but it's not going to go in the pocket because he's not good at pool. And he has no technique, no form, and he hits the ball and the ball hits the corner like of the pocket. So the cue ball bounces out crazy hard, knocks in 2 balls, and we're playing 9 ball. So it's slop counts. He hits his ball first, sinks a second ball, and then it goes over, hits the 9 ball, knocks the 9 ball in, game over. And they got it on camera, and he didn't even know he won the game. And so his reaction, it's in the movie when he does this crazy shot. I don't remember the name of the movie, but he literally goes, oh shit, like that. And I'm looking at him like, motherfucker, now we have to do this again. But yeah, his very first shot, he sank 3 balls and the winning ball. Shout out to Angus McFadden.
That's hilarious.
And eventually he did unite the clans at the end of Braveheart. So I think the new bloodline will consist of Sami Zayn, both the Uso brothers, Roman Reigns, and they're going to have to deal with Solo Sikoa, Jacob Fatu, and the tag team champions. But there's one person out. That's 4-on-4. There's one person who made his presence felt, Jeff, and I want to know from you, whose side is he going to take? And that's the friggin' Rock, bro. The Rock. Whose side is the Rock going to endorse? This is more important than what presidential candidate he endorses.
can't imagine he doesn't side with Roman. But here's the thing.
Okay.
You want to be alpha versus alpha, right? Like if alphas were smart, they would team up with other alphas. That's what they would say. Like, well, imagine what two of us could do. But the problem is alphas, that's not what makes an alpha, teaming up.
Beta's group, alpha's solo.
So I'm going to say he's going to be against, I think he's going to be against Roman. He's going to do whatever it takes to
new
be.
Bloodline.
Yeah, it's going to do whatever it takes to go against Roman, and then we'll get that storyline and see how long we can wring that out for great television. That's my guess.
I was hoping you were going to go with me, man, but now I think you're probably right, actually. And every time I thought you were going to be right, you ended up being right. So instead of going against you, for once, I'm going to learn my lesson, y'all. And that's what makes a mistake different from a habit. I'm going with Jeff, and he's picking Solo and the new Bloodline. I'm not going to have bad habits. I will learn, I will evolve, and I will express more emotions than anger and lust, because men can do that too. I'm learning, you guys. I'm trying.
Okay? Wow, that was beautiful.
This is what's being told to me. I got to change. I'm trying to change, y'all. I'm trying. Stick with me. Stick with Jeff. Tune in every single week. We love you guys. See you next week. On behalf of Jeff, I'm Freddie. Peace.
We out.
This has been a production of iHeart's My Cultura podcast network. For more podcasts from iHeartRadio, visit the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you listen to your favorite shows.